This is a funny pasta. It's kind of like a creepy pasta. A creepy pasta is where you take a horror story based on something, practically. And it's really scary, but funny pasta is kind of like that, but more funny and stuff. There's gonna be some funny moments and some scary moments as well. This is called the Swan Princess Horror Stories. Have you ever heard of the Swan Princess? It's a story based on a popular myth about a young princess named Odette who was cursed by an evil warlock named Rothbart who turned her into a swan. Pyotr... I can't pronounce his name. Well, this one guy was so fascinated by it that he made a ballet out of it called Swan Lake. Disney even considered about making a film about it, but unfortunately it was rejected when The Black Cauldron failed at the box office. But have you ever wanted to hear about the true story about Swan Lake? Well, it started when my grandpa took me on a trip to Russia to visit one of his relatives. While we were there, we went to a museum where we learned about different Russian artifacts and even the story of the Swan Princess. But my grandpa's cousin's ex-husband were having lunch, which I had already finished. They let me look around a little. I went to the Swan Princess area when I noticed a door with a bathroom sign on it just as I had to pee. So I went in it. But I found a whole bunch of Swan Princess stuff. I tried looking for a toilet, but I couldn't find it. But I found a chest that had an R on it. I opened it up, and some diary or something was in it. It was strangely in English, which kind of shocked me. So I decided to put it in my backpack and waited to use the bathroom until we got back to the hotel. Besides, I've been able to hold my pee in for almost a whole school day. It's true, because the bathrooms at my school are the worst. So yeah. When my grandpa decided to go to a hotel swimming pool, I wanted to stay in my room and read what the book I found. I was fascinated to see that not only it was in English, but it was also pictures. There were pictures in it. I just hate books with so much text and so little pictures. I'm like freaking Baby Bop. I hate reading. The pictures, though, look so much like something out of a Disney film. In fact, I swear the pictures started moving. And I swear there was also audio, narration, and music. It was like a generic animated film, ripping off so much from other films, possibly even more than Tom and Jerry the movie. It told the story of the Swan Princess and Prince Derek? I thought his name was Siegfried, or whatever. But, yeah. And there were talking animals? What? What the heck kind of crud is this? The story was narrated by some creepy guy. So, yeah. Who just gave me some terrifying vibes. By the way, did I also mention there were songs? Some of them sounded awful, but some of them sounded so sweet. Most notably a song that I think is called Far Longer Than Forever. So, yeah. I read a little bit of the second story, which was about the warlock Rothbart's former partner. Okay, who's messing with me right now? Feels like I'm watching a Disney direct-to-DVD sequel. I only read a little bit of this sequel before Grandpa came into the room. I quickly hid the book and went to some restaurant that we went to. But when we got back to the hotel, our room was a big mess, as if it was burglarized. Many people in other rooms were supposedly complaining about all the noise coming from there while we were gone. But when the woman at the front desk checked the security camera, it didn't work. We found out from one of the guests who was in the same hallway when was in the same hallway as the noise happened, and he didn't see anyone go in there when that happened. Everything was ruined except my backpack. We slept in a different room that night, but I kept having all I was kept up all night because I thought I kept hearing that creepy narrator mumbling some strange magic spells or something. The next morning, my grandpa and his cousin's ex-husband went to the bar while I stayed in the hotel room to try and get some sleep. But I was too worried about that book and the supposed burglary. I was like, forget it, and I just read the rest of the book. But I got a notification from Google News saying that the book I got from the museum was stolen, and when I left, the whole museum was mysteriously vandalized, except for, of course, that creepy room. The owner of the museum was very worried because that box has been tormenting him and his ancestors for years. He wanted to burn everything in the museum relating to the Swan Princess. I tried to turn the book in, but the door wouldn't open. I tried calling someone. Hold on. But my phone just turned off. I had to read the rest of the book. The next story was about Rothbart's mentor, Zelda, of all things. Then things got weird. It was about... The next story was about Rothbart's ghost ruining Christmas. It was really disturbing, mostly because everyone looked more realistic and creepy, especially Odette. No, Odette is like so scary in this sequel. I'm sorry. Yeah, this this fanfiction is actually based on my thoughts of the Swan Princess films. The next story was another dark story about Odette adopting a girl whose dad dies in a horrible fire. What the? There were also squirrels that wanted to kill the Swan Princess. You know, after reading this cursed book, I'd want to do the same thing as well. And did I mention that both of these stories have pop songs in them? Yeah. Then there was some dumb story about pirates and an orphan boy or something. Then some story involving spies or some crud. The next story I don't even remember except for Odette's ungodly singing. It didn't even sound like the first story. I was about to read the next one when I realized it was already nighttime. Where's my grandfather? I thought. Was he getting really drunk or something? I'm sorry if that offended you if I talked about getting drunk, but yeah. I turned the next page, and to my horror, the next story was about Rothbart back from the dead, murdering everyone, and then he stared at me creepily and said that I'm next. Then I realized that he was the creepy narrator. I threw the book out the window and had to think of something to do. But then, a sound came from outside. I looked out the window, and what did I see? I saw the great animal from the book terrorizing the street. I knew for a fact that was Rothbart. Did I mention that his name sounded weird? I had to think about what to do. Then I found a gun falling out of a robber's bag who was too terrified by Rothbart. Lol. I took it and shot that dang animal. I shot at the heart, but nothing happened. Until I shot at the head. He was dead. But I had to make sure that he was, so I grabbed a flamethrower from the scared robber, lol no demand, and burned that book. He was finally gone. The stuff from the museum was burned as well. My grandfather was found, but a little injured. Thankfully, because of some miracle, he was okay. I've had nightmares about this event ever since then. Many people don't believe me that I saved everyone, but ever since that day, however, I now despise ballets. The freaking end. So, did you like this story, though? This is basically, like, talking about, like, my opinions on the Swan Princess films and how many goddamn sequels they can make. It's, like, all over the place. Too many sequels. They need to stop. No, they're making a new one soon, actually. So, yeah. I'm trying to check out all of the sequels as of right now. I just finished at number 6, so I'm gonna do number 7, I think. So yeah. I mean, that's it for now. See you later.